views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in this podcast are the content creator's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of Essex County College. The material and information presented here is for entertainment and informative purposes only. It should not be considered as professional advice or a substitute for seeking professional guidance. Yeah!
Born in 1995, but arrived in 99. Became a man when I was 9, but still a child in my mind. Stand on business every time I'm talking, every single time. Thank God your boy still got some time to spin my truth up in these rhymes. Picture perfect, life ugly. It's a
Good afternoon, Jersey.
door thinking you still got some time. Got a purpose, still searching, then you need to talk to God. No more leaders, true seekers, everyone wanna be God.
It's so worth it when you picture your life so picture perfect.
It feels so sunny out right now, and I'm telling you, man, if you go outside and you have a business of going out there, take care of the business and take your ass back home in the AC, you feel me?
Wasn't easy as it seemed, yeah. Building with the team, yeah, you know we built with steam, yeah. Soon you seen it come up, yeah, you know that gutter clean, yeah. Low.
Ain't nobody got time to do no heat stroke, please.
Real, some of y'all need to chill, pill. Crazy little Karen and a kill bill. Got agenda hidden, genocide in the field.
You already know what it is. My boy Chris is back, and you know we're gonna talk about some stuff.
Little Karen and a kill bill. Got agenda hidden.
Plenty other things. You know that your boy Christopher King got plenty personalities.
In my north face, my race ain't fair skin. Catch a with the flex, you ain't no kingpin. I could show you what the soul wish they were heaven sent. Pavement made a go, no place for cavemen. You said you tackle me, I'm Jeff Gordon. Can nobody handle me? Big up to Megan.
Oh, where's my manners? GT what?
And if it for me, my life forever sweet, cast out them demons. Excuses for the weak, my steel is stainless. Say goodbye to the era when I was silenced. I came from the era with snakes and lions. Real, some of y'all need to chill, pill. Crazy little Karen and a kill bill. Got agenda hidden, genocide in the field.
I want to take the time to shout out to the faculties right around in ECC. Yo, shout out to y'all. What's up?
Crazy little Karen and a kill bill.
I know y'all getting prepared for September because, you know, that's like the month that is the most busiest month. I believe it should be. Yeah.
Check.
You know what I mean? Yo, we outside, yo. We outside, Chris.
No, we're inside, brother. Middle of a heat wave.
Nah, I can't say that for you because I'm just saying, like, you've been free, bro, so you got no choice but to be outside.
Yeah, man, it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing, man. Yo, hey, what's a recap? What was your week like so far?
So far it's been a whole week, hasn't it? Dang.
It's hump day.
This is literally wow. Well, yeah. I mean, shoot, it's been a lot going on. Not too much, you know. We can't handle, but you know, since being back, just getting handling a lot of loose ends, on the back end. You know, what I mean, it sounds crazy, but like for example, the day things got hairy, I was preparing for a gig. I was going to a baptism, and I had a client who had already paid in advance for me to be there with the 360 photo booth. So, you know, I had to, you know, mentally prep myself to begin to communicate with the client about, you know, why I was in no call, no show, basically. I mean, but you held it down for me for the most part, too.
Yeah,
As
it was last moment
trying
stuff.
To be there, yeah, but it all fell through.
You know,
so
I just trying to lay it to her, just like, you know, just ease, calm, and collectively, like, yo.
Yeah, so there was that.
I'm not that guy.
And the resolution for that, was pretty much as a courtesy. You know, she'll end up getting the full refund, but it'll take a little bit of time. But I just had one of these this was one of those situations where you never really want to use certain parts of your contract agreement, where it's like, you know, in the event of an emergency, you know, things that are just way out of your control. You know, listen, we got to reiterate that the deposit is non-refundable, and I couldn't, and even if I wanted to refund the deposit itself, the deposit is used to purchase the paper, the ink, and the props for the party. But just to you know, just to hold on to, you know, the few clients that I have at the moment, you know, you gotta make things right. So as a courtesy, you know, I'll refund her the entire $500, but it'll take time for that other $250. But that's that loose end, without giving away too much detail. Just kind of the, you know, the things that you don't really think about, I guess, because I for certainly was. I mean, I knew I was gonna have to come up with something as far as, you know, reimbursement. And this is the first time I had ever been in a position where, you know, you really need your contract to back you up. Because you know, you don't account for these things. We want to account for these things. You just never hope that they actually happen. So that was that. Then remember on Thursday when we wound up doing Mulberry Park for Vibes. We did Vibes in the Park. So everything was like spur
Shout out
moment.
to DJ Weezy, Boogie Vibes,
Shout out to the DJ.
16. Who else was there? Who was vibing out there?
Man, it was all right, man. We wasn't received too well. I mean, we did get some love, but I think a part of that had to do with we showed up late, but that's because we had somebody flake on us.
Right.
But yo, check this out, bro. Do you know? Was that a Thursday? That was a Thursday.
Was it?
Yes, it was. Vibes in the Park was on a Thursday last week, in Mulberry Park. Check this out, bro. In the midst of, you know, getting out and trying to handle all my loose ends and figure out what's what and, you know, missed phone calls, missed emails, we outside doing Vibes in the Park. Do you know where I was paid to be that same night?
I don't want to guess for you.
That same night, there was a check waiting for us at the Newark Museum of Art, because they had paid us to be there for a gig on that same Thursday where we were at Vibes in the Park. And I didn't go deep enough into my emails to even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
So you talking about...
So you got the check?
What do you think? No, we weren't there. We were in the park instead.
I would have said, like, if the check is already signed, you might as well go pick it up.
That's not how business works. I mean, that's funny and all, but that's definitely not how business works. If you do not produce, and if you don't have, you know, you don't show up with your deliverables.
It depends on the litigation.
It doesn't.
What come across? What was the contract?
Bro, listen to me.
You have to be there. So, like,
Bro,
you
no,
said, like as if they sign out the check.
Listen, you're trying to make a case for something that there's nothing to stand on. All right, no production, no check, no deliverables, no check. That's really, really how it works, and there aren't a whole lot of protections against that, unless you have sometimes, you know, major, what you call it, I forgot what it was, but that's what I used. And that's in the case of an emergency, you know what I mean? Like something crazy happened, like ask a guy, the weather, you know, things like that. You know, I would maybe say car, I guess car issues, but even that's. But yeah, if you don't show up, bro, you don't get paid. But pretty much, you know, we had to come to an agreement with them as well about just moving forward, and so far I think they still willing to play. That's all I'm really concerned about. I'm just concerned about watering, you know, continue to give all the attention to these business relationships, because no call, no shows are not a good look ever.
Indeed.
Ever. So that was pretty much what the week was like. Some loose ends. I finally made my way out west. You know, I'm Marcus caretaker. You know what I mean? So, yeah, sir, Marcus caretaker, man. You know.
Shout out to you, my guy, Marcus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a win-win situation. You know.
Straight out into the airwave, Mr. Zulu himself.
It's a win-win situation.
I should give me a special drop for Zulu. You know what I mean? On one of these machine drum pads, like.
And on today, we heading out to After Work Wednesdays in Mulberry Park.
Right.
So depending on when this drop, I don't know if this will drop on Friday or next week sometime. But Mulberry Park, they got programming, so they try to do an event almost every day of the week for just about the entire summer. It started sometime in July, and they do After Work Wednesdays. So it's a vibe. If you're in the area, definitely spin Mulberry Park. See what we got going on. I'm gonna have the photo booth down there. Today is the 30th, so the next time we'll be out there will be the 4th or 5th or something like that. But it's every Wednesday, y'all. It's every Wednesday. I try to be out there for the next one too. If anybody listening want to come check it out.
All right. So ever since you've been out since last week, you didn't have no play. Like you didn't enjoy yourself while you
I mean, I definitely had some plans to enjoy myself. A few memorable moments. I mean, the cookout with J. Lou and them was cool. That was my first little bit of eating since, since them turkey sandwiches. I don't understand something. They give you the turkey sandwich, right?
Right.
They give you this dry turkey sandwich, John, with like 8 pieces of bread.
They expect you to die.
It's like 8. I don't need this many slices of bread for this turkey sandwich. Like I got 8 pieces.
But how slim was the slice then? If they give you that much loaves of bread, like.
No, it was regular slice of bread.
They give you all 6.
2, 4. Okay, no, it wasn't 8. I'm exaggerating. It was 4. It was 4 slices of bread with some turkey and like some mustard. I'm like, man, this is.
What was the drink?
In East Orange or in County? Because I don't remember. The drink. Oh, well, in East Orange they was getting our.
Don't tell me no
from,
milk, bro. Don't tell me no vitamin.
They was giving
D.
us the little Sun Cup juices. The little Sun Cup juices.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They upgraded.
Nah, I ain't no upgrade. That's all institutional shit. When I looked at it, I was like, damn, this really is all institutional stuff. Because this same juice you gonna get in the breakfast program at a school. The same juice you gonna find it inside of a nursing home somewhere. The same food. I mean, yeah, all them juices is just institutional juice. That's all. A little Sun Cup joints. That's what it was. The cranberry cocktail joint.
Yo, remember back in the days? I'm talking about grade school days, man. Like, cats used to shoot the fade for them juices, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. Them juices was something about them. You just needed an extra one. One, it was too small. I don't know what size that is. I don't like half a pint, baby pint. That joint, they too small. So 1, you know what I mean? So of course you needed the second one. And you might have had to fight somebody for a third.
Imagine people be shooting the fade for them frozen, especially when they frozen.
Yeah, you might have to fight somebody for a third one. The second one you could probably finesse off somebody. The third one.
But you did not remember them days though. Like Cass was literally fiending for those Sun Cups. Like,
of course.
I tell you, bro. So what else did they have? Like, Joe, to be honest with you, I was spoiled. If that's the case.
What do you mean?
The comparison between what you had at the mess hall compared to what I had.
Probably.
It was like Thanksgiving. They gave me some nice mac and cheese, some turkey. You know what I mean?
That sound valid.
You know what I mean? Some peach cobbler.
Nah, they doing too much.
Yo, that facility right there, it was legit.
They just have it just to say they had it, or was it good?
Nah, that joint was smacking. That joint was smacking. Like, let me tell you something, bro. You do know I don't eat pork.
Right.
I don't eat pork. the fact that I was held up in there, and I already told the lunch lady that, listen, when you serve out things, I don't eat pork. Like, I was really on my bouginess. Like,
You probably look like you an inmate, bro. I don't want to hear none of that. Like, your inmate, oh, you bougie. What? Well, you go in jail, sir.
nah, but she didn't even say it like that. Like, I would think it's passive aggressive. Like, but she said, like, okay, no problem. Like when you come around, I'll make sure I give you some chicken fingers or something like that. You know what I mean? Then one day I form up in line and I got a tray and I went straight back to the table and ate, right? Tell me why I had the most succulent
Piece of bacon.
piece. Nah, not bacon, bro. It was pork chops. And I didn't know it was pork chops because listen, I don't eat pork.
That joint
So
delicious,
I
wasn't
wouldn't
it?
know
That
how
joint,
pork chops would be served.
that joint was delicious, wasn't it?
That junk was wonderful. that junk, bro. Let me tell you something. I feel guilty eating that junk. So once the prisoner next to me, I don't like calling cats inmates because when you call cats inmates inside of there, it's like like that's your bitch. They don't even call each other inmates. Like sidebar,
Oh, Sellies.
Sellies, right? Fine. Anyways, yeah. So got the cellmate right adjacent to me. He basically told me like, "Yo, you know what you eating, folk?" I said, "Nah, but this y'all smacking like." Like I, on the other hand, don't care at this point because I'm hungry. You know what I mean?
They fooled
Like I done passed up on the food for like 2 days straight because I wasn't trusting the junk. You know what I mean? I was like literally on my Thugalicious type junk, bro. When I was inside of there, like I was literally thugging it out for the first 2 days. Nah, I'm not eating, not one bit. Nah, I don't know about this facility. I don't know shit.
You bugging.
Bro.
You were bugging.
Bro, I was like fattening with cookies. If it wasn't cookies, it was honey buns. But anyways, back to that pork chop.
You talking about honey buns? Well, I mean, you was in there for 2 months, so but
Right,
damn.
right.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. The last thing we ate in there, we had, guess you could already guessed it, more turkey.
Right.
More turkey with some some mashed potatoes. But here's the thing, though. And I had like turkey for like 4 days straight, bro. It was crazy. Turkey.
So you might as well you had Thanksgiving, bro. You got enough turkey to collect for Thanksgiving. Seriously.
Yo, the last day, they had some modified joint. Like, it was the same sliced turkey, right? But they must have let it sit in some type of broth or something, because this turkey had flavor on it. And,
Right.
and you know what else? They had some mashed potatoes, and them joints for season too. I was like, yo, these mashed potatoes is kind of slamming. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Right. It wasn't spoiled or anything like that.
No, it wasn't
You didn't
spoiled
see
or
any
nothing
mold
like
on
that.
the side.
No,
Like back to the bread. So you didn't have no moldy bread?
Nah, bro, everything was.
That's one thing I can say. Like my bread was mold.
Damn.
Like it was straight mold when I was in the holding cell. Because I was telling
That's trifling right there.
I was telling the lady, like, that was watching us inside the holding cell, like, yo, I'm hungry. Like, this is when we was in there for like 5 hours tops, right? The sheriff didn't pick up neither one of us. Like, yo, bro, it's time to go. Like, you understand? Mm-hmm. Even got other cats inside there. They was being wild. Like, yo, when are they going to take us over the county? Like, yo, what's going on? Right? Meanwhile, I'm hungry. Like, I was like, yo, I'm worried about my stomach right now. So I'm going to talk to this lady. I'm trying to, like, sweet talk her. See if she probably has some food there. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, I'm hungry. You got some food? She was like, yeah, I got food for you. Right? Then she gave me a sandwich wrap that was wrapped up in some saran wrap. You know what I mean? Open that bit. And then, like, you know how it is. Like, they folded, like, on top of that, they folded the 2 pieces of cookies around that. And then along with the third layer of the saran wrap, that's where you have the condiments, like the mayo, the mustard, all that enchilada, right? Yo, by the time I bit the bread, it had the most weirdest taste. It had the most weirdest taste, bro. Like, have you ever bitten something? And then like your mind, like your brain, like the stems from your brain start to like spark. That's how I felt. I was like, yo, what in the world is going on? By the time I open up the bread, bruh, that junk, I see dark spots. The cookie stale. You understand? I couldn't believe what I was like eating right now. Like I feel like a wild animal.
Yeah, you know, I guess they
You know
really
what I mean?
didn't care down there for real. They must really don't care where you was at.
Bro. I don't even want to talk about that no more. Thank God I'm out. Because you know what? Like I said, like, you know, being inside a jail system is trifling. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you will go some places like in Norway. Like their jail system is like as if you're in a college dorm. You know what I mean? Like, it's like everything is superb. Like, you're locked up to be rehabilitated. You're not being locked up to be tortured.
All right.
Full disclosure. Believe it or not, some of you people out there may feel type sketchy. Well, what I may say, it doesn't matter how crazy the charge is. You understand? You still have to be treated like a human.
Facts.
If you go back to the time of Cain and Abel, right?
It's innocent.
When Cain killed Abel, God did not, you know what I mean? He did not out Cain then and there. You understand? He just simply said, where's your brother? And, you know, Cain said, am I my brother's keeper? And, you know, the history says for itself. You understand? God struck a lightning bolt to his forehead. Bang. He got a mark on his forehead. Now, when he walk in the land, people would know, like, listen, don't harm this guy. You understand?
Because what?
I mean, it is what it is. He's going to deal with his judgment. Who are you as a human to take out another human? You are not that human God. You understand? So with that mindset right there, and I'm speaking through a thorough mindset, right? You got to look at certain parts of this planet that we're in, and you're really gonna have to absorb on how they deal with certain cases, because the incentive is not to build more toil into that individual situation. You understand? It's like that person already dealing with his own situation. It's like he got his own demons.
Bro, don't
His or
care,
her
bro.
own demons.
Bro, don't nobody care, bro. Nobody.
No, I'm not saying nobody cares, but I just
no,
gave you a prime example for Norway, bro. Like it's like, I'm at awe when I've done the research for that. Like, okay, great. This is how they treat their inmates. You understand? Because once they come back out, more likely they're 100% well, because it's the program is what they have inside of there. You understand? Like the time when I was hemmed up in Gwinnett County, yeah, they had wonderful programs while I was in there. You understand? You got people that's actually getting PhDs. Like, you understand? But on the other side of the spectrum, like with the CEOs, like, you know, they reckless. They can be reckless on you. You understand? It depends on, like, you know, what charge you have inside of there. Yes, it's a natural selection. Yes. You know, eye for an eye. When you're in there, yeah, you better watch your ass. But to each his own, right? To each his own. I believe that America jail system is trying to make its way into like medieval times, when they actually torture people like on some, like, give them Columbia neckties. You know, like,
I think the time, I
slicing their
think the
necks
sentencing
and stretching the tongue out.
The sentencing is unreasonable, and depend on, I guess, I don't want to speak for everybody, but nigga, my experience was not that bad. I know some people got a lot of, And I don't not to say that it's not bad, you know what I mean? But I know for a fact the sentencing is wild. Since way back, you know, 90s and 80s, we had unfair sentencings and things like that. As far as the treatment, I wasn't there long enough, and I ain't do nothing crazy for me to be treated all badly. You know what I mean? I'm just staying away, bro. I don't even want to talk too much at all, but just stay away, stay out if you can. Don't do nothing stupid. You mean like.
Yo, especially for the YNs out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for the YNs, bro. Y'all think, I don't know what y'all think, or maybe, cause some of y'all young and already been, and y'all clearly seen that like it was light. It was not like how it was in the movies, in the TV shows. It really was not like any of that.
Don't go in there with the rah-rah. You get taught a lesson then. So
I say that to say it's better. You have better options,
right?
And it's better decisions. Even though you may have went already and it wasn't even like that, you might say it was light, la la la. There's way better options because at the end of the day, you get held up. It's just like the game Monopoly. You get held up, don't pass go, lose $50, and now you got to sit there while everything else outside. You might have had motion. You maybe had not. Maybe you did have motion, but the point is,
it depends on who you are.
You don't
like if you're a homebody. And you look at prison as they're like, oh, it's just like home. I ain't doing nothing. Like, yeah, that's gonna be your neck of the woods. But I'm talking about for those like is out here trying to get it in the right way. But they end up finding themselves doing things the wrong way, and they get caught up. You understand?
No, I'm talking to all these young dumb people, or I almost said it, who been there already and feel like, oh, going back ain't nothing. That's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the people who already
you talk
been
about
inside.
Them simps.
Not even simps, bro. It's not even like I'm trying to deliver a real decent message right now. It's for the people who have been to jail. It wasn't what they thought it was. It wasn't the movie scene. It wasn't as dangerous as a situation as it was portrayed to be. For the people who feel like, oh, I've been to jail already and it wasn't nothing, you have better options than what you got going on. And like. I'm not just because I done seen some people, but even still, there are always better options than considering jail and being like, oh, I'm just gonna sit for a week and then I'll be right back. There's way better options than I'm just going to sit for a week and I'll be right back. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I know there's a lot of individuals out there who have already been, and it was type light. And then they feel like they could come outside and be like, well, you know what? If I do this or whatever the case is, I'm just going to sit for a week and I'll be right back. And then it's, you know what I mean? You got way better options. Because actually being, and mind you, I did 3 days in East Orange and I did like a day and some change at County. Bro, that was mad inconvenient. Like, granted, it was like, it wasn't the movie scenes and all that stuff that people make you be afraid of to go to jail, but like, it was mad inconvenient, especially for somebody who's like, who actually has motion. Like, you never want to consider going there and thinking that that's a finesse or that's just finagle or you playing the system or this, that, because if you go there, you lost. Don't pass gold, lose $50, you lost. That's what I'm saying.
Yo, when it comes to business, man, take Steve Madden, for example, right? Oh, my gosh. Like, you rock some Steve Maddens?
Mm-mm.
You know, I'm sure you go inside a mall and you would catch, like, Steve Madden stores and this and the third, right?
Yeah, I seen him.
Yo, okay, so you know the owner of Steve Madden, who's behind the junk? Bro, the guy cocked diesel for one. You know what I mean? Like, this guy been locked up years. Like, you know, bro, you're going to have to check his rap sheet. That's all I got to say. And the fact that he been discovered to make shoes and this, that, whatever, and make a business out of it, like, after getting out from, you know, where he was in, as far as that, you know, that area.
He's tired of going to jail, bro.
You know, ain't no tired of going to jail, bro. He had no choice. You know, there's certain people who have no choice, like, to be successful when they at that brink. You understand? Like, that's when you realize, like, you just don't give a damn. And that's the time for you to, like, be successful, when you just don't give a damn. You know, like, that mentality right there, like, and this for those who's just too anal when it comes to like the vernaculars. Like when I meant by I don't give a damn, I'm talking about like get out there and just do it. You understand? Because especially if you know yourself, you're basically comfortable within your skin. You got the credentials that you claim that you said that you achieved. Go out there and do it. You understand? Like, let me tell you something. I barely ask for advice from my pops these days because he's already been teaching me from born until the tender age of in my adolescent, I would say. You understand? Even though after my adolescence, he still will give me advice. But at times I feel as though it's recycled. So in the retrospect, right? These days I speak to my pops and his advice is just do it. You understand? It come a time in life, you understand? Like, especially when you do something like, you know, consecutively. You're expecting of getting a result, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris.
Yeah.
You understand? People with the small business, it takes 5 years in order for you to see a result. So don't think that if you want to wake up one day and said, I'm tired of working for the man and I want to get an LLC and by a couple weeks, you didn't even do your promotion done right. You understand? But you expect this some like residual changes? Like, no. No. You sign up for it. So now it's time for you to like, you know, put your face down in the mud.
Right.
Grind. Oh, grinding is too much. You know, grinding will wear you out. Well, you sign up to be an entrepreneur.
Nah, people don't even know what they be signing up for a lot of things.
Nah, but it's a fact of like either you're in the workforce, so you complain about your job, or you're an entrepreneur and you complain about the ups and downs. Like where will you have a balance, right? And I'm speaking for the majority that acts like this. Where would you find a balance for you to not complain at all and actually wake up the next day brisk and ready to do what you ordained to do once again? You understand? You sign up for it. Find ways to have some laughter, some happiness around the like hours that you'll be doing it a day. You know, the workforce in this day and age, you know what's my most pet peeve? You really don't have that sense of like, I don't know.
No, you know what's my worst pet? You know what I don't like about the
It's like too many antisocial situation going on. You understand? It's like people don't know how to socialize to the point like, hey, like, okay, we can't come across with mutual agreements in public no more. And that explains why a bunch of bachelors would say like, yo, the dating pool sucks. Because if you don't have no social skills, how in the world will you be able to adapt to life? You understand? What's going on with this society?
People are too comfortable. I'm not really adding on to what you just said. I'm adding on to something you said probably 3 goddamn minutes ago. But people are when it comes to not knowing what they signing up for, as far as doing the whole entrepreneur thing. When you decide that that's what you want to do, you as an employee, talking to you as an employee, You are used to signing up for a job and working that singular position. You are literally used to just working for what you are paid for. Right or wrong, right? But if you want to be a fucking CEO, right, you have to, right? You gonna have to work other positions, do other positions if it's yours and you're the only one. So you're gonna have to work all positions, play all positions, and that's what it means. So when people don't be understanding and realizing, oh, I want to be entrepreneur, that means, oh man, I'm in charge of scheduling. Oh man, I'm in charge of account acquisitions. Oh man, I'm in charge of sending invoices too.
Don't forget about consulting. You're gonna have to like converse across the customer in order for you to get the bread.
Well, whatever that is and whatever it looks like, people in general are just used to applying for a job and working a singular function.
Right.
Right. So it's a one-dimensional it's one dimension. It's just either you pick stuff up and you put stuff down, or you scan stuff, answer questions, and that's it. But and then that's like one of the first overwhelming parts of becoming, because now like you in charge of your back end first and foremost, and it's like, dang, now I gotta build up. I gotta get comfortable with following up. You always gotta follow up with something, whether it's an application or whether it's a client. You gotta be in constant communication with a whole lot of people at one time. It's a multifaceted position. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. So it's a learning curve when you come from relying on or being comfortable with working a 9 to 5. It's a huge learning curve when it's time to then put all these hats on at the same time and make this thing work. And then on top of that, people who are in the circle of like a 9 to 5, whatever the case is, it's just that it's hard to become comfortable with uncertainty because you used to getting a check every week. You understand what I'm saying? You just used to it. You're going to show up at the job for however long they want you there, and you used to getting bread.
And BS most of the time as you there.
And BS. A lot of people be going to the job and don't even really being an asset to the company for real. You just around type shit. You a body on payroll. The first thing you got to the job is talking about, oh, I'm about to take my 30-minute right now, and then now you done got to the job. You already took your 30-minute. Now you too hungry. Not my fault. Now you got the itis, so you can't even work now. It's who's doing this? You going to work. The first thing you do is take your 30-minute.
Yo, you know it's hard.
Now
work.
you too sleepy to work.
You know it's
you
hard.
You got
work.
an attitude that you at job. That's the people who be wanting to, I got all this job.
You know it's hard work though.
And then they get that shell shock whenever they actually try to start a business, because you was never really cut out for it in the first place. You couldn't even stand out at your 9 to 5 job for real. So when it's time to actually do what you're not paid for, or whatever the case is, or do go beyond what's expected, it's a foreign concept type.
Just imagine you being up on a scissor lift for like 12 hours straight. 60 hours out of the week. You understand? Replacing fixture lights. And that's what you're doing. You only get 1 hour break. So yeah, 11 hours up in the scissor lift. Going up and down that aisle. You understand? Gonna have to change the 2x8 fixtures. Replace the fluorescents and put in LEDs. Replace the ballasts and put in the driver. Right? And you put on an add-on with the motion sensors in the middle of it.
All right, well, you saying all that to say what?
All that, I don't think this generation don't know anything about hard work.
This generation don't know nothing about anything.
I feel as though this generation is and when I say generation, I only talk about the youngest underneath us. Because the generation is generation.
Everybody. I don't think
young, old.
If you talk about hard work, okay, yeah, the only people who probably know about actual hard work, like labor, are boomers, people who actually have to hold down jobs that really matter.
But
all the jobs that are around today.
But I ain't talking about the retired. Who you talking about is the retired folks, right? I'm talking about the elders that's in the workforce, right? Hear me out. It's like a change up of a culture of how the chain of command is. There'll be times the manager don't even know his lineup of work. You understand? There'll be times you will walk up to the lobby and ask for a particular suite that you would like to go, and that person don't know what suite you're talking about. They can't navigate to you because this is like their first day there. You understand? It's like lack of seniority-ship, lack of that bondage-ship. Like as far as like a family, like that quotation of a family in the workforce. Yeah, sometimes they hit and miss with that, right?
Are you talking about older workers or are you talking about just in general?
Well, I'm talking about the chain of command, and it's coming. Like obviously, it's gonna be the older workers, and those are the ones that been in a particular business for X amount of 30 to a max amount of 50 years, and they on the other hand, should be the head of the neck. And most of the time, especially in this day and age, you can see that in the workforce. Like, ain't nobody have that what you may call it, like patriarch type of mindset when it comes to like putting pride for their work. Like put pride on your work. Be proud of what you do. Even if you pick up cow dung for a living, have pride for what you do. You understand? That's all I'm saying.
Why do you think there's a lack of pride for what people do?
Bro, do you not walk in the same very streets that I walk in every day? Do you not walk in the same very stores that I walk in every day? Like, bro, do you not see no vibrancy?
Bro, why do you think there's a lack of pride for what people are doing?
I mean, obviously, the economy is struck, and that's what makes people move. You understand?
Not really, because people don't even understand the economy per se. So I wouldn't even say that.
They don't have to know about the financial literacy side of it, but it literally gonna damage them anyway, anyhow. People
don't know how the economy
based by their habits,
messing them up.
Based by their habits, based by their routines,
the cost of gas, based by
they go and get their haircuts every 2 weeks, and it basically like relapse.
Bro, listen to me,
understand?
Bro. Listen to me, dog.
They won't have to know the terminology of economy, but they still gonna get the bumps and bruises.
Yeah, they're gonna get the bumps and bruises when it's time to go to gas and when it's time to get groceries. Primarily, outside of all the other things that you could even mention about getting hit with the economy, people are not even aware of how outside of gas and groceries. And probably some other things, maybe like tolls and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, what you gonna do? You just gonna keep paying more for the stuff that costs. So it's like, why do people feel less? Why do people not put in pride outside of the economy? Because the economy is not the reason why people are not putting pride into the things that they do.
Then why? Why? That was my educated thought. So if you have like the straight narrow of how people move the way how they move, what is it?
Because standards have been lowered across the board. Across the entire board, standards have been lowered for everything. When it comes to work, when it comes to the quality of life, when it comes to the quality of a job, when it comes to how much effort you should even put into the job, the standards across the entire board for people everywhere have been lowered. So when they show up to the job, they're like, oh, well, you know what? From the jump, it's bumped this job. I'm really just here to pay my bills. I'm really just here to get a check real quick. And if they ask me to do too much, I'm out of here. And if somebody tries me, I'm also out of here. You know what I mean? The standards, people's standards have been lowered. So it's no longer, there's not.
That's speaking narcissism.
No, this is the fact.
It's a fact. But what that character that you're speaking there is narcissism. Like, it's like they've been bruised before. So the next time around they do got that check or they do got that job, they're going to make sure they don't be bruised. Like, they rather resign before they get that feedback on getting fired. So you understand?
So yeah, I would agree that it's a level of narcissism because really they only really care about themselves, and they don't understand that once you join the workforce, you become a cog in the bigger machine.
All right.
And you have a job to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, could you imagine if people like the trash man didn't care for real, or people who like work at waste management? Those like there's certain areas of jobs where I hope that people still care about the quality of work that they do. But for the vast majority of most of us, we work in customer service, some sort of food service. But it's all customer service regardless, you know what I mean? I don't care how you want to spin it or break it down. It's just a matter of whether you in some sort of like merchandise, you're in food, I don't mean merchandise, like department stores, things like that, or even security, and even, where you don't necessarily gotta be the best. You don't have to be all that you can be sitting behind a register, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be. It's ideal that you would try, and it's like, it's not for us, don't do it for me, but it's like, do it for you, because that might give you a sense of, you know what I mean, unless that's just not what you need, that's not where you want to be in life, and we can't hold it, we can't hold you for it, but go somewhere else where you're happy.
One of my first jobs, I can say, was doing retail, right? And I was actually working for Hollister. And I tell you, I love the experience of working as a retailer. Nonetheless, working for those type of clothing stores. Why? Because it's like enjoying the environment, enjoying the scenery, enjoying people. You understand? Like, yeah, it's like everything. Like, just to be in the social life of being in a retail, position. And I'm looking at it like, as I was working there, we had fun.
I mean, shoot, I work retail too.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't bad.
I love my coworkers, and my coworkers love me. You know what I mean? And straight diversity. You know what I mean? It wasn't no like, okay, all Latinos, all whites, or all blacks. No, like, we was literally like straight diverse and mingling with each other. Like, you understand? And it's only like, what, a decade and a half ago. You know what I mean? And it's like, Brody, where did the time go? You know what I mean? That's what I mean by, like, when you walk into the society, right? I just give you a whole demonstration that I gave my service to the public, like, yo, always been hunky-dory, always been the type of cat to help out. You know, it'd be like, the jeans sections, you feel me? Like, if the girl wears a size 8, but now she done grew like a waist wider, you know what I mean? Now she's a size 9. Like, all right, cool. Like, I'm going to look for a size 9. We don't have it on the floor, but let me check and see if we have it in the back. Like, certain things like that. But nah, if you go inside of these stores these days, bro, we don't got none. I like, Brody, did you even check in the back? Oh, no, I just came from there. I know we don't got none. You done know he's flexing, bro. You done know the chick is flexing, bro. You understand? Like, it's like, bro, like, we gotta bring that togetherness again, bro. Seriously. You know
It just is what it is, bro.
But that's that entrepreneur mindset, you know what I mean? Like, I could speak for myself. I like to give service to others. You understand? Hey, why you think I got my own business kicking and driving when it comes to my electrical business? And I got 2 electricians underneath my belt. And it is not hard to, like, schedule if you already, like, embody that with your everyday routine. You understand? Like, you have to discipline your mind. You understand? And whatever you put in a routine for your own business, put in a routine of your personal life too. Because that actually keeps a whole balance of yourself. For those who have kids, build a routine with your kids. Build a routine with yourself, and build a team with your kids. Build a team with your spouse. Build a team with your kids. Build a team with yourself. You understand? Like, listen, if you don't have a routine, then you're going to fuss. That's a full disclosure. You understand?
We're about to have to slide some Mulberry soon.
Hey, yo, you ready to make some bread?
You ready to make some bread?
I'm ready to make that move, yeah.
Oh, you ready to make some bread?
I'm ready to make that mañana.
Good morning, y'all.
Yeah.
Afro King, Yah Moore. Take it to the next level. Level up. Level up. Level up.
Hey, yo, make sure y'all come through and support Lit Bic every Wednesday. Moving forward until the summertime is over, right in front of Prudential, and that's Mulberry.
With a pocket full of green, trying to make it hits in the studio. We got a door overseas, I'm showing.
Lit Pick, Lit Pick, Lit Pick. Whenever you hear that, you already know it's gonna go down.
And the Dumbo, tell a boogeyman, try to take my life. They say easy is dark in the jungle.
Definitely gonna go down with the Lit Pick, so you definitely gonna have to stay tuned and come through and just get your 360 on.
Pave the way for the local. And they struggle through with present measurements. We gotta fight for our neighbors. We gotta fight up through the systems. We better than the lousy label. Stay fresh, be the big boss. So otherworldly for the status. Make money while we living up. We gotta pave the way like it's magic. Hands up, yeah.
This has been a production of the Essex County College Podcast Club. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved.